Hello there! It's PS Plus update time yet again, the mid-month update that adds more games for extra and premium subscribers and sneakily takes a handful of games away from us while you're not looking. I'll show you all the games coming in and going out, and all I ask in return is for a cheeky like, and maybe subscribe to the channel too. All the following games are yours on October 21st, unless stated otherwise. The rumours were true. The headline game of the month is Silent Hill 2, the remake from only 12 months ago. We play as James Sunderland, who visits the fog-covered eerie town of Silent Hill to search for his wife. The thing is, she passed away 3 years ago. Yep, it's that kind of psychological horror, perfect for the Halloween season. Most people have abandoned the town and now only nightmare creatures roam the streets. Gameplay in the remake is split into 3 areas. Exploration, looking around the town, prison and other increasingly nightmarish landscapes, and from there we solve puzzles, some more complicated than others, and finally combat, which begins with pipe swinging but adapts to include firearms, and play long enough and you'll discover a chainsaw. Silent Hill 2 lets us choose our own difficulty setting for both the combat and the puzzle solving to create a playthrough bespoke to us. Reviewers say this is an amazing game with an average score of 87 out of 100, and you trophy hunters expect around 25 to 30 hours to grab the elusive Platinum Trophy, which has no difficulty-based achievements, but there are 6 endings to unlock. It's yours from October 21st. Speaking of spooky remakes released a year ago, here's another one, Until Dawn. Back in 2015, Until Dawn was a pioneer of interactive narrative games, the ones where our decisions impact the story and lead us to different conclusions. Here in Until Dawn, we control a bunch of young adults who must survive the night on the Blackwood Mountains. And should one not make it, it's okay, the story goes on without them. This butterfly effect adds a little replayability to find all the endings and scene changes. The horror in this one is a lot of jump scares, but also some really gruesome endings to some of the characters. An average playthrough takes about 6 hours, and the Platinum Trophy needs us to play through 3 times in total. If you're lucky enough to have friends, play this together and hot swap the controller to try and keep your character alive. It's a great way to play. Average review score 7 out of 10. Next on both PS4 and PS5 is Poppy Playtime Chapter 1, a game that describes itself as a first-person survival horror puzzle game. Set here in an abandoned toy factory, we play as a former employee invited back after many years, and after all traces of the current staff have completely vanished. We quickly discover the factory is filled with monstrous toys and animatronics and must somehow escape this hell or delve further in to find answers, solving puzzles along the way with a crazy pair of extendable arms. I've never tried a Poppy game, yet I see it everywhere, so I'm going to give this a try. And it's super short too, easily less than an hour long, even quicker if you're not scared stiff. Trophy hunters, there is sadly no platinum for this one. Let's keep the spooky vibes going. This is V Rising, a vampiric game that's hard to surmise. It's part Diablo, it's part survival crafting sim. We awake from our slumber to find our beloved vampire race is facing extinction. Then we do what vampires do, hunt for blood during the night and hide from the sun during the day. As we rebuild our castle, we can convert our food source, aka humans, into servants. V Rising is a solo game, but it can be played in co-op. And for the ultra hardcore, there is an always online mode if you trust the people in your guild. This all increases the stakes, no pun intended. With a large open world to explore, the power fantasy of being a vampire is constantly at war with the weaknesses they have, whether that's the sun rising or simply garlic or silver bullets. Hang on, is silver bullets werewolves? I can't remember. IGN gave this a massive 9 out of 10 review score. The story takes around 30 hours to finish, but there are custom server settings to get this platinum done in around 15 hours. A game without a Halloween vibe now, as Dusk Falls, published by everyone's favourite third-party publisher, Xbox. It's another choose-your-own-adventure story, this time pushing this comic book graphic novel visual style. After a heist goes wrong, we make decisions for both the criminals and the family caught up in the drama. This can be played alone, but is said to excel when you play with friends, all downloading the app, start using your phone to vote for all the decisions in-game. The campaign takes about 6 hours to run through, but with so many different directions to take the story, you'll likely restart to change your choices. As Dusk Falls was given reviews as high as 9 out of 10 and as low as 4 out of 10. So this may be about personal taste, especially that art style. If you want the Platinum Trophy, follow a guide and you'll have it done in less than 10 hours. A huge game added this month is Yakuza Like a Dragon on both the PS4 and PS5. First released in 2020, we play as Ichiban Kasuga, a low-level Yakuza enforcer who faces 18 years in prison as a fall guy for a crime he didn't commit. On release, he finds out nobody is waiting for him and the Yakuza he loved is now a shadow of its former self. Yakuza games are some of the biggest and most dense games you will ever play, and this one adds to that with one big change: combat. In this one, it's more like a JRPG, as we take turns to hit each other. It may sound super slow, but thanks to perfect parries, we can interrupt brawls out of turn. With a 40-hour story to play through, and at least 80 hours will be needed for the Platinum Trophy. And that's simply due to all the side content, all the mini games you can play, all the things you can lose your time in, and some of these things are really questionable. Just don't think about it. It's all yours on October 21st. And finally, we have Wizard with a Gun, a twin-stick shooter from 2023. We are the titular wizard who is attempting to stop the forces of chaos from destroying their world. Each level is procedurally generated to keep us all on our toes and guessing where the enemies are coming from next. Our weaponry can be upgraded in countless ways, from basic burning bullets to bizarre boomerang spells that see whatever we cast out come straight back to sender. In fact, the more time you spend playing reveals even more upgrades that get progressively more ridiculous and amusing, and occasionally game-breaking too. Expect to put in between 20 and 30 hours if you want this Platinum Trophy. At this point, I usually recommend a game to you may have missed in the catalogue, but this month it's a little different due to upgrades to Remedy games. If you're playing Alan Wake 2 on PS Plus Essential, you should know the other games in that universe have been updated. Firstly, Control has unlocked all exclusive content from release, giving us 3 new outfits and a new mission to play through featuring Hideo Kojima. Secondly, Control's frame rate has now been unlocked on console, making 120 frames per second possible if your screen supports it, alongside a bunch of visual upgrades. But that's not the end. Remedy's other game, the first-person shooter Firebreak, also received much needed updates. The frankly, terrible onboarding the game put us through meant most people quit within an hour of playing. Well, that has been reworked with a brand new tutorial system. Alongside that, the progression system has been reworked and the whole game has been rebalanced. And there's now new weapons, new grenades, new enemy types, new armor sets, and 27 good mods to build the ultimate weapon to fit your playstyle. As most players bounce straight off Firebreak, this is your opportunity. Will you give it a second chance, or has your goodwill eroded? No waiting around for these updates, they are already in your game as soon as you want to try them. As always, a handful of games exit the catalogue, so let's see what we're losing this month. First up, Battlefield 1 is going away, the 2016 first-person shooter set during World War I. Also leaving is Ghostbusters Spirit Unleashed after a year on the service. It came out for Halloween last year, and now it's leaving just before Halloween this year. 2 more ghoulish games are also heading out from the Dark Pictures anthology. The choose-your-own-adventure stories of House of Ashes and The Devil Inside say bye-bye. The sport game leaving this month is Tour de France 2023, and the virtual reality puzzle game The Last Clockwinder leaves, which is yet another VR game being removed from the premium tier of PS Plus. All those games will be locked away on Tuesday, the 21st of October. Now over to the hit and miss tier of PS Plus, known as Premium, or it could be Deluxe in your country. We know that some of the greatest fighting games in PlayStation history are on their way, and one is here this month, and it's Tekken 3 from 1997. The third Iron Fist tournament brought in more fighters than ever, like Jin Kazama, who was the son of previous contestants, building on a plotline about a family with a devil gene running through their lineage. Tekken 3 has an average review score of 9.5 out of 10. We also know 2 more games that are coming to the classic catalogue, but they're not here right now, so in November and December we're expecting Soul Calibur 3 and Lara Croft Tomb Raider Anniversary. So we are officially down to 1 game a month on PlayStation Premium. Yikes. Okay, that's our month. How are you feeling about it? Happy, sad, delighted, mad? Please sound off in the comments. I want to know what you're playing. Maybe you are all gonna love Poppy Playtime after this month. I'm Adam, you're awesome. It's been a pleasure. See ya.